Today we discussed about the plus 2 biology part evolution. This chapter discussed about origin of life, evolution, adaptive radiation, mechanism of evolution and origin and evolution of human being. If you like this class, please like, share and subscribe. We can start today's part. The evolution, chapter 6. First, the huge galaxies comprise universe. The age of universe almost 20 billion years old. Galaxies contain stars and clouds of gases and dusts. Then we discussed about Big Bang theory that start to explain the origin of universe. This is also known as chemosynthetic theory. The Earth originated about 4.5 billion years ago. Billion years ago. Initially, the Earth was made up of hot gases of chemicals. Gradually, these gases cooled down and formed solid crusts. The early atmosphere of Earth contains ammonia, water vapor, hydrogen, methane. There was no free oxygen. Early Earth made of hot gases and chemicals. The early atmosphere of Earth contains ammonia, NH3, water vapor, hydrogen, and methane. There was no free oxygen at all. Then heavy rain fell on hot surface of Earth, formed hot water bodies. Next step, hot water bodies are formed on the surface of Earth. Then in the next step, methane and ammonia that dissolved in hot water. The hot water act as a catalyst and the methane and ammonia dissolved in hot water. Then chemical reaction occurred in hot water give rise to amino acids, nitrogenous bases, sugars, fatty acids. Ultimately, biomolecules like proteins and nucleic acid are formed. In the next step, methane and ammonia dissolved in hot water that give rise to amino acids, nitrogenous bases. sugars and fatty acids are formed. Ultimately, biomolecules like protein and nucleic acids are formed. Based on the chemosynthetic theory of origin of Earth, Earth originated about 4.5 billion years ago. Early Earth made up of hot gases and chemicals. Early atmosphere of Earth contains ammonia, water vapor, hydrogen molecules, methane and without free oxygen. Then heavy rain followed by the formation of hot water bodies on the surface of Earth. Then ammonia, methane, etc. dissolved in hot water give rise to amino acids, that is the basic unit of protein, nitrogenous bases, that are the basic part of DNA molecule, different types of sugars and fatty acids are formed. Then lately biomolecules like proteins and nucleic acids, that is RNA or DNA, etc. are formed. Then the next topic, panspermia theory of evolution. Panspermia theory of evolution. According to this theory, early Greek thinkers thought that spores, different types of spores coming from different planets, came to Earth and start life on Earth. According to panspermia theory of evolution, the early Greek thinkers thought that spores, different types of spores coming from different planets, came to Earth and start life on Earth. Next theory, spontaneous generation theory. Next theory, spontaneous generation theory. By this theory, some of them believed that, the early peoples believed that life came out of decaying and rotting matters like straw, mud, etc. According to spontaneous generation theory, some of the persons believed that life came out of decaying and rotting matters like straw and mud. Next theory, but Louis Pasteur's experiments demonstrated that life only comes from pre-existing life. Louis Pasteur experiment demonstrated that life only comes from pre-existing life. Then other two scientists, Haldane and Oparin, proposed that first form of life come from pre-existing non-living organic molecules, that is RNA and protein that formed from inorganic constituents. The high temperature volcanic storms producing atmosphere containing ammonia and methane. Louis Pasteur's theory. That demonstrated life only came from pre-existing life. Louis Pasteur's experiment demonstrated that life only comes from pre-existing life. Then Haldane and Oparin proposed that first form of life come from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. Haldane and Oparin's theory. They proposed that first form of life came from pre-existing non-living organic molecules. Pre-existing and non-living organic molecules. Then RNA and proteins that formed from inorganic constituents. The high temperature volcanic storms reducing atmosphere containing methane and ammonia. Then next Stanley Miller conducted an experiment. Next topic, Stanley Miller's experiment. They proposed a Swan flask experiment, a closed swan flask with ammonia, hydrogen molecules, methane and water vapor at 800 degrees centigrade. Then create an electric discharge in this flask. He observed formation of amino acids. Stanley Miller conduct an experiment, that is Swan flask experiment. He filled in a vacuum flask with methane, ammonia, hydrogen and water vapor. Maintain 800 degrees centigrade. Then create an electric discharge through it. He observed formation of amino acid. Hydrogen molecules and water vapor. at 800 degrees centigrade. Then create an electric discharge into it. He observed formation of amino acid in sand flask. Amino acids are the basic unit of amino acid. Different types of amino acid join together to form different types of proteins. In similar experiment, that means other scientists create sugars, nitrogen bases and different types of pigments and fats. Other scientists follow this type of experiment and create different types of sugars, different nitrogen bases, pigments and fats. The next topic, evolution of life forms. Next topic, evolution of life forms. The page number 112. This is the picture of swan flask experiment. Then next topic, evolution of life forms, a theory. We can passing through point wise and easily explanation with notes. Evolution of life forms, a theory. There are some points. The theory of special creation. First part, the theory of special creation. This theory has, that is, the special creation theory has three connotations. First one, all living organisms that we see today were created as such. Second point, the diversity of species was always the same since the creation to future. Third point, Earth is about 400 years only old. It is a primitive theory. Evolution of life forms. The first theory, theory of special creation. According to this theory, all living organisms that we see today were created as such, that means at the same form. There is no evolution occurs. The diversity of species are the fundamental unit for classification. The diversity, that is the different types of species, was always the same since creation to future. They believed there is no chance for evolution. The third point, all living organisms that we see today were created as such. Diversity of species was always the same since creation to future. Then the earth is about only 4000 years old. First point about the theory of special creation. All living organisms that we see today were created as such. Then the second point of theory of special creation. Second point, the diversity of species was always the same since creation to further future. The third point about theory of special creation is they believed that the earth is about only 4000 years old. The earth is about only 4000 years old. These old ideas, there are so many old ideas we already discussed. Then these old ideas challenged in 19th century, the first part of 19th century. After the voyage of Darwin, he put forward his theory known as theory of natural selection or Darwinism. All old-fashioned theories that discussed about the evolution are changed after the voyage of Charles Darwin. He put forward his theory. He found some theories that is known as natural selection theory or Darwinism. Then what is Darwinism? According to Darwinism, the existing living forms share similarities among themselves. Life existed millions of years ago. There has been gradual evolution took place in living forms. Variation in characteristics, and those characteristics enable some animals to survive better in natural condition and others are perish. According to Darwinism, the existing living forms share similarities among themselves. Life existed million years ago. Life existed Then he said, there has been gradual evolution took place in living forms. According to Darwinism, the existing living forms share some similarities among themselves. Life existed millions of years ago. There has been gradual evolution took place in living forms. Variation. What is variation? The difference between the parents and their individuals. That is known as variation in characteristics. The character means the features. That is physical, physiological or morphological characters, and those characteristics enable some animals to survive better in natural conditions. Others are perished. This is known as Darwinism. He also proposed another theory, natural selection. Darwin also proposed another theory, that is natural selection. According to natural selection, animals with reproductive fitness produce more progenies, that is children, than others. Animals with reproductive fitness produce more progenies or children than others. Nature promotes animals with fitness, that is the reproductive capacity to survive. That is known as survival of the fittest. Again, Alfred Wallace, a naturalist, worked in Malay archipelago, support Darwinism. He concluded that all the existing forms share similarities and share common ancestors. Alfred Wallace support Darwin's theory. He said all the existing forms share similarities and share common ancestors. According to Alfred Wallace. He is a naturalist. Worked in Malay archipelago. He support Darwinism. He concluded that all the existing living forms share similarities and share common ancestors. Next topic, Evidences of evolution. Evidences of evolution. Here, evolution is the development of organism through time. The meaning of evolution means it is the development of organisms, that is living organisms that include animals and plants through time. It is a slow process. Evolution is very slow process. Cannot seen by man during his short lifespan. So can be understood only by a comparative study between living and the extinct animals and also from different types of evidences. Evolution is the development of organisms through time. It is a slow process. Evolution is a very slow process. That cannot seen by man during his short lifespan. So, can be understood. So, evolution can be understood only by a comparative study between living and extinct, that is perished animals. Extinct means perished animals, and also from different types of evidences, evolutionary evidences. There are lots of evidences for evolution. Some important evidences of evolution are paleontological evolution, biogeographical evolution, morphological, anatomical and embryological evidences. We can get information from fossils, paleontology, biogeographical evidences, morphological, anatomical and embryological evidences. First, paleontological evidences. First, evidence for evolution, paleontology. Paleontological evidence. What is fossils? Fossils are the dead remains of plants and animals that live in the past. Paleontology means study about fossils. The fossils helps to study the structure, traits and behavior of extinct or perished animals. They help to study the Phylogeny. Phylogeny means evolutionary history of some animals such as horses, camels, men, etc. Paleontology means study of fossils. Fossils are the remains of animals and plants that lived in the past. They help to study the structure, traits, that is characters, behaviors of extinct or perished animals. Traits means characters. And behavior. Of extinct or perished animals. They also help to study the phylogeny. Phylogeny means evolutionary history of some animals. That means evolutionary history. Such as horse, camel, man, etc. Example, evolution of horse. The primitive form that is known as Eughippus. Eughippus, they look like dog-like animals. They live 54 million years ago. Then they transformed to next form, Mesohippus. Mesohippus live at the age of 38 million years. Then it converted to Meryhippus. They lived 25 million years ago. And then the modern horse, that is Equus. There is an example of horse. The first ancestor, that is known as Eughippus. They are dog-like animals, live 54 million years ago. Then they transformed their next form, that is Mesohippus. They live at the age of 38 million years. Then they transform to their next form, that is known as Meryhippus. Oedipus. They lived 25 million years ago. Then transformed to modern horse, that is known as Equus. Equus. Next topic, fossils indicate the connection link. Fossils indicate the connection link. Here we take an example, Archaeopteryx, that is known as reptile bird. It indicates that bird evolved from reptiles. Fossils indicate the connecting links. They give information about some connecting links. Connecting links are the animals and plants. They put together in two groups and they show the characters of both groups. Here we take an example, Archaeopteryx, that is the fossil bird, that is known as reptile bird. Fossils also indicate the connecting link. Example, Archaeopteryx. It's also known as reptile bird. The Archaeopteryx indicates that birds evolved from reptiles. Archaeopteryx have both reptilian and aves characters. Aves means birds. Wagner in 1861 discovered this fossil of Archaeopteryx. Wagner in 1861 discovered this fossil. There are some points. Presence of beak. Here, bird character. Then here, the reptilian character. Presence of beak, that is ave character. Presence of beak. Then teeth is present on the beak, that is reptilian character. Teeth is present. Next character, presence of wing, like birds. Presence of wings, that is like birds, and clawed digits, that is the character of reptiles. Reptiles have clawed or sharp digits, sharp curved digits known as clawed digits. And the presence of feathers. but scales on the hind limbs, that is a reptilian character, scales present. Next, feathery tail. Tail with feather, that is bird character, but tail vertebrae also present. Tail vertebrae is the character of reptiles. So the Archaeopteryx show both birds and reptilian characters. So they are recognized as the connecting link between birds and reptiles. One of the scientists, Huxley, state that birds are glorified reptiles. According to Huxley, he states that birds are the glorified reptiles. Next topic, geological time scale. Geological time scale. The total lifespan of Earth from the time of its origin is called geological time. The total lifespan of Earth from the time of its origin is called geological time. The time scale divided into eras, periods and epochs. The time scale divided into eras, periods and epochs. The geological time are arranged in an orderly fashion called geological time scale. The geological time are arranged in an orderly fashion is called geological time scale. There are different types of eras. The main era are Proterozoic, next Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. There are mainly 4 types of eras. They are Proterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. 4 types of eras. First, Proterozoic. Second, Paleozoic. Third, Mesozoic. Fourth, Cenozoic. Geological time are arranged orderly fashion called geological time scale. There are 4 main eras. They are Proterozoic, Paleozoic, Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Next part, comparative morphology and anatomy technology. What are homologous organs? Homologous organs. Organs similar in structure and origin. Organs similar in structure and origin but adapted for different functions. This phenomenon is now called homology. Examples of homologous organs are whales, flippers, bats, wing, cheetah's foot, cat's paw and human hand. We know the flippers used for swimming, bats wing. Bats are not birds, they are mammals. Their patagium helps for flying. Cheetahs foot for running, cat's paw for climbing and running. Humans hands for different activities. Then the humerus, the parts of forelimbs of whales, flippers, cats, paws, bats, wings, human hand and cheetah's foot. They are the forelimbs. The humerus, the bones, humerus, radius, ulna in the forearm. Then carpals, metacarpals, phalanges are basically similar. That is structural homology, but with a different function. So these organs are homologous organs. Organs similar in structure and origin but adapted for different function is known as homologous organs. Other structural homology has been observed in skeleton, heart and blood vessels and excretory system of different animals. The origin of homologous organ due to adaptive radiation. We can study what is adaptive radiation. Now we just noted the term. The origin of homologous organ due to adaptive radiation from a common ancestor is known as divergent evolution. What is divergent evolution? The origin of homologous organ due to adaptive radiation from a common ancestor. All of them originate from a common ancestor. Such type of evolution is known as divergent evolution. Other examples of divergent evolutions are vertebrates, herds and function of brains. Vertebrates, herds and functions of brain. But in examples in plants, the thorns, tendrils of bougainvillea and cucurbita, the thorns of bougainvillea and the tendril of cucurbita. The function of bougainvillea's thorns, protection, but the tendrils functions for climbing. But they are originate from axillary bud of plant. The thorns and tendrils are originate from axillary buds, but the function is different. Next, analogy and analogous organ. It is opposite to the homologous organ. Analogy is opposite to homolog. Organs which have similar function. Organs which have similar function but different in structure and origin are called analogous organs. Organs which have similar function but different in structure and origin are called analogous organs. This phenomenon is called analogy. There are lot of examples for analogy. Example first, wings of insect and birds. The structure is different but the function is flying. Then eyes of octopus and mammals. Octopus include in non-chordates but mammals are chordates. But their function is seeing. Flippers of penguins and dolphin. In plants, sweet potato and potato. Sweet potato and potato are tubers, but sweet potato is root modification and potato stem modification, underground stem modification. That is a tuber. Next, the origin of analogous organ due to adaptation for life in similar habitat known as convergent evolution. Convergent evolution. The origin of analogous organs due to adaptations for life in similar habitat. Habitat means the living place, known as convergent evolution. Next term, vestigial organs. Vestigial organs. Vestigial organs are small, degenerated or rudimentary developed primitive organs. But these organs are complete and fully functional in their ancestors. Vestigial organs are small, degenerated or rudimentarily developed organs, but these organs are complete and fully functional in their ancestors. Such organs are known as vestigial organs. Example, vermiform appendix of human being, nictitating membrane of human being, muscle of external ear, coccyx, wisdom teeth, body hair, male, etc. are examples of vestigial organs. Vermiform appendix situated in between small intestine and large intestine. It is a finger-like projection. There is no proper function. Then nictitating membrane already seen in invertebrates, examples in amphibians case, but it is very rudimentary structure in case of human. Muscles of external ears. Animals can move their ear in different directions. So they have muscles in external pinna, but it is rudimentary in case of humans. Then coccyx is a part of the digestive part and wisdom teeth of human. That is canines, last incisors, canine, premolars and molars. The last four molars are known as wisdom teeth. Then the body hair of males, etc. are examples of vestigial organs. In case of animals and birds, the vestigial organs of animals and birds, that is rudimentary pelvic girdle of python. Pelvic girdle. We have pectoral girdle and pelvic girdle. The pelvic girdles are situated in between legs and stomach, but rudimentary pelvic girdle is also present in pythons and porpoise. Then next, rudimentary wings in kiwi and ostrich. They are flightless birds, but they have rudimentary wings. Next term, atavism. The reappearance of ancestral characters in the descendant is called atavism. That is, once the organs are rudimentary, then they again active in next generation. That is known as atavism. The reappearance of ancestral character in the descendants is called, that is next generation is called atavism. Examples, multi-nippled condition, dense body hair, cervical fistula. That is, cervical fistula means the pharyngeal opening to the outside on the neck portion. Another example, a human baby with a tail. In rare case, human babies with a tail. That is an exceptional case. This tail portion, that is an example of atavism. In embryonic stage, this tail portion can be seen in all vertebrates, but after completion of fetal stage, it is usually reduced in human case. Another interesting observation supporting evolution. Next topic, another interesting observation supporting evolution. One example, industrial melanism. Industrial melanism is an example for evolution. That is example for natural selection. That is an example for natural selection. What is industrial melanism? Before industrial revolution in England, it is occurred in England. Before industrial revolution in 19th and 20th century, in England, pollution very less. So, walls and tree trunks are light in color without dust and smoke. Before industrial revolution in England, pollution very less, so the walls and tree trunks are lighter in color. At that time, the light colored wing moth, that is grey moths, scientific name Wiston vitellaria. They looks like lichens. The structure of or the plumage, the wing color of grey moth resembles lichens. Before industrial revolution in England, the number of grey moths are in abundance because birds only catch and identify black moths. They can't identify grey moths in between lichens. After industrial revolution, the smoke and dust particles covering walls and tree trunks. So birds can identify and catch grey moths. So number of black colored moths are increased. That is known as industrial melanism. Next topic, adaptive radiation. The process of evolution of different species in a given geographical area start from a point and literally radiating to other areas of geography, that is to different habitat, is called adaptive radiation. The process of evolution that start from one point or from one area and radiating to other areas, that is spreading to other areas or different habitats, is known as adaptive radiation. Then examples of adaptive radiation. Examples of adaptive radiation. First, Darwin finches. The case of Darwin finches. Darwin observed nearly 20 related varieties of small finches birds in Galapagos Islands. Darwin noticed 20 related varieties of small finches in Galapagos Islands. They look similar but noted difference only in size and shape of beak. Then he noted the difference only in the size and shape of beak and in the color of their plumage. Their plumage is different. These birds now called Darwin finches. The bird fauna. Fauna means animals. Flora means plants. The bird fauna, the bird animals of these islands show affinity with American species. The Darwin finches look like American finches, but Darwin's finches show considerable variation from American finches. He made a conclusion. Darwin came to a conclusion that the American mainland species, that the American finches, was the original one. Later, some of these original finches migrate into Galapagos Islands and adapted to different environmental conditions in islands. The American finches are the original species. Some of these American finches migrated to the island of Galapagos and adapted to different environmental conditions of island. This led to the development of various beaks suited for different feeding habits. The beaks are suited for different feeding habits. These adapted forms are considered to be new species. His observation, he noticed different 20 types of finches in Galapagos Islands. Their plumage and shape and size of beaks only different. Then in America, it resembles the American finches. He concluded that the American finches are the original species. Later, some of these American finches are migrated to Galapagos Islands and adapted for different environment. According to their feeding habits, their beaks adapted for different shapes and structure. Second example. Next examples for adaptive radiation, that is case of placental mammals in Australia. Placental mammals in Australia also exhibit adaptive radiation. They appear to be similar to a corresponding marsupials. Examples: placental wolves and Tasmanian marsupial wolf. It is also an example of convergent evolution. Next, what is convergent evolution? What is convergent evolution? When more than one adaptive radiations appeared to have occurred in different habitats or isolated geographical area. Here, more than one adaptive radiations are appeared in different habitats or isolated geographical area is called convergent evolution. Example: placental mammals. Examples: placental mammals and Australian marsupials. Examples for convergent evolution. The convergent evolution means more than one adaptive radiations appeared in different areas. That means convergent evolution. Examples: placental mammals and Australian marsupials. There are lot of examples. Mode, that is a mammal, and marsupial mode is an example of Australian marsupial. Then anteater. Then in Australia, numbered mouse, that is a mammal in other areas, but marsupial mouse seen in Australia. Lemur, the spotted cuscus, flying squirrel, they are seen in different areas, but these members are only seen in Australia. Flying pelagia, bobcat, Tasmanian tiger cat, wolf, Tasmanian wolf. These members are only seen in Australia, but these mammals are distributed all around the world. Next topic: biological evolution. Next topic in our textbook is biological evolution. Environment favors the animals with favorable character and allows them to inherit and reproduce to increase their number. The process of selection of animal with favorable character is called natural selection. What is natural selection? The process of selection of animals. The process of selection of animals with a favorable character is called natural selection. It is also known as fitness. The environment favors the animals with favorable characters. Environment allows such animals to inherit and reproduce to increase their number. The process of selection of animals with a favorable character is called natural selection. This is also known as fitness. Next topic, branching descent. Branching descent. According to Thomas Robert Malthus, the population grows in geometrical rate. The population grows in geometrical rate, that is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, etc. 64. Whereas the means of food supply is in arithmetical rate only, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. What is branching descent? According to Malthus, he concludes the population. What is population? A particular type of species residing in a particular area is known as population. According to Malthus, the population means all types of animals and plants. A particular type of plants live in a particular area is known as the population of that species plant. According to Malthus, the population grows in in geometrical rate, and the food supply means only in arithmetical rate, that is known as branching descent. Darwin was much influenced by Malthus theory. Darwin's theory is influenced by Malthus theory or correlated by Malthus theory. Next topic, Lamarck theory of evolution. Next topic, Lamarck theory of evolution. That is known as Lamarckism. This theory known as inheritance of acquired characters. Lamarckism also known as inheritance of acquired characters. His masterpiece, Philosophic Zoologic, published in 1809. Lamarckism considered 4 points. Lamarckism considered 4 points. They are reduction to the environment. First, the reduction to the environment. The second, effect of needs. Third, use and disuse. And the fourth, the inheritance of acquired characters. We discussed the first point of Lamarckism, that is reaction to the environment. Environment play an important role in influencing the form of living organisms. Environment directly influences all living organisms. This influence makes a change in their habit. Habits means their character. Environment play an important role in influencing the form of living organisms, plants and animals. This influence, environment influence, make changes in their habit. Different types of habits, characters. Second point of Lamarckism, the effects of needs. The effects of needs. Change of habits, change of characters, initiate the formation of new organ. Change of habits initiate the formation of new organs or may bring the modification of the existing organ or structure. Change in habits of animals influence the formation of new organ or modification of existing organ. That is known as the effect of need. Third, use and disuse. Third point of Lamarckism, use and disuse. The constant use of an organ change its efficiency and size and lead to its better development. What is use and disuse? The constant use of an organ changes its efficiency and size and leads to its better development. On the other hand, if an organ is not used for a long time, if an organ not used for a long time, it leads to the reduction in efficiency and lead to disappearance. That is opposite one. Examples of use theory. Examples of use theory of Lamarckism. Lamarck believed that the long neck and front leg of giraffe are the result of continuous use. Lamarck believed that the long neck and front legs of giraffe are the result of continuous use. That is an example of use theory. Next, example of disuse theory. Example of disuse theory. The vestigial organ that we already discussed. What are the vestigial organs of man? The vermiform appendix, nictitating membrane, coccyx, etc. Hair. The vestigial organ of man such as vermiform appendix, pica, semilunaris, etc. are result of continuous disuse. They become rudimentary. Fourth point of Lamarckism, inheritance of acquired characters. Inheritance of acquired character is the fourth point of Lamarckism. Lamarck believed that the characters of acquired during the lifetime of an organism are passed into progeny, that is to next generation. The acquired characters pass into next generation, that is known as inheritance of acquired characters. Example, long neck of giraffe and degenerating wing of kiwi. These characters, acquired characters, are passing to next generation. That is known as the inheritance of acquired characters. Next topic, mechanism of evolution. Mechanism of evolution. First term, variation. What is variation? The difference between closely related animals are called variation. What is variation? We already put a detailed class in our channel about the genetics. You can use that and for further detailed study. Variation. The difference between closely related animals are called variation. It is universal. Variation is universal and is the raw material for evolution. Variation is the raw material for evolution. Continuous variation forms difference in next generation. Variation can be observed both at phenotypic level and genotypic or genetic level. This is also discussed in genetics. We have a detailed session or program we put in our channel. We can use it. Variation can be observed both at phenotypic level and genotypic or genetic level. Phenotype. What is phenotype? Phenotype is the visible character or external expression of an animal. Genotype is the genetic constitution of an animal that only check through microscope. Genotype is the genetic constitution of an organism and phenotype is the visible character of an organism. Natural selection can act on genetic variation. Genetics and the evolution are parallel subjects. So natural selection can act on genetic variation. Mutation also influence variation. Mutation. Next term, mutation. Mutation also influence variation. Hugo de Vries believed that new species arise from pre-existing one. Hugo de Vries, a scientist, believed that new species arise from pre-existing one by mutation. What is mutation? Mutation is the sudden heritable changes occur in the genetic constitution of an organism. It is by the influence of mutagens. They may be physical mutagen or chemical mutagen. Hugo de Vries believed that new species arise from pre-existing one by mutation and not by minor variation. He not believed in minor variations. He only believed in mutation. De Vries explained this based on his study on evening primrose. His study material is evening primrose, Oenothera lamarckiana. Then De Vries said, mutations, that is sudden heritable changes in genotype, that is the genetic constitution, are random and directionless. Mutations are random and directionless. He believed in saltation also. He believed in saltation. What is saltation? Single step large mutation is known as saltation. The saltation and different types of mutation are the base of evolution, according to De Vries. According to Darwin, on evolution is gradual. But De Vries believed that it is spontaneous and fast process. Anyway, variation leads to, any type of variation leads to evolution. Any type of variations leads to evolution. Next topic, Hardy-Weinberg principle or his laws or Weinberg equilibrium. Hardy-Weinberg principle or Hardy-Weinberg law or Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. This law states that in a large population, a population with much number of members, the gene frequencies of various kind of genes remain constant generation after constant. In any species, the number of genes remain constant in generation to generation. If mating is random and in the absence of mutation and selection or migration, if in absence of mutation, selection and migration, the chromosome number and number of genes remain constant in every population. This law states that in a large population, the gene frequencies, that means the number of and the structure of genes of various kind of genes remain constant generation after generation. There is no chance for variation if there is not migration, selection or mutation occurs. The gene frequencies in a population are maintained in a state of equilibrium. The structure and shape of chromosomes and genes are never changed in an equilibrium condition. Here, evolution occurs only when equilibrium is upset. This equilibrium upset, there is a chance for variation. In human case, here is 33 pair of chromosomes in all generation, and its activities are also similar, but in case of mutations, migrations and natural selection occurs in human case, there is a chance for deviations. Example, a gene has two alleles. Always genes are occurred in pairs. Paired genes are known as alleles. A particular character controlled by a pair of genes, one coming from parent and one from mother and parent, mother and father, that is parents. The two genes from maternal and paternal denotes allele. Example, a gene has two alleles P and Q in a population without mutation or selection. Then the frequency of these two alleles will remain constant generation after generation. They mathematically represent as P plus Q square is equal to 1 or P square plus 2PQ plus Q square is equal to 1. Next, Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is affected by 5 factors. Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is affected by 5 factors. First, gene migration or gene flow. Second, genetic drift. Third, mutation. Fourth, genetic recombination and natural selection. The Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium is affected in 5 factors. First factor, gene migration. What is gene migration? Members of a population enter into new population. When the members of a population, parental population, enter into a new population, that is mixing of two populations, and breeding took place between these two populations, the members of the population, add new alleles to the local gene pool of the local population known as gene migration. Adding of new type of alleles into the local gene pool is known as gene migration. What is gene pool? Gene pool is the total number of genes of a particular species is known as gene pool. If mixing of two populations with breeding, here is a chance for forming new type of alleles, that is pair or set of genes to the local gene pool of the local population is known as gene migration. Gene migration results in the formation of fertile hybrid. The hybrids are fertile. That means they have the ability to produce next generation. This hybrid carry genes from species to species is known as gene flow. These changing hybrids are carried from species to species is known as gene flow. Next point, genetic drift. The random changes in the allele, that is set of chromosomes that control the character, occurring by the chance in small population are called genetic drift. If the changes are occurring in a small population is known as genetic drift. Drift is a sampling error. that is a chance of change in gene pool of a species. Next, mutation. We already discussed what is mutation. Next, genetic recombination. Genetic recombination. What is genetic recombination? The process of reshuffling or mixing of gene parts between non-sister chromatids during meiosis, that is the reduction division, meiosis, called recombination. In the first stage of meiosis, crossing over and recombination occurs. In that case, the chromosome materials are transferred between non-sister chromatids. Such genetic recombination helps for variation. So, the children of same parent shows difference. It is essential for human and all animal cases. Genetic recombination is a natural process, not like mutation. The process of reshuffling of genes or gene parts between non-sister chromatids. Non-sister chromatids, the chromatids are the arms of the chromosome. Non-sister chromatids means the chromatids of the non-sister chromosome. These non-sister chromosomes represent one paternal and one maternal. We have also discussed this topic in our genetics part. You can check it. Then natural selection. Natural selection. The definition of natural selection. Environment favors animals with favorable characters. Environment always favor animals with favorable condition and that live in that such condition, and allows them to reproduce and increase in number with favorable characters are called natural selection. Simply, the environment always like the favorable conditions or characters of animals. Environment promote such animals for produce and increase their number. That is known as natural selection. Environment favors animals with favorable characters and allows them to reproduce and increase in number with favorable characters that adapt for such natural condition. That means favorable characters are called natural selection. Next topic, founders equilibrium. Founders equilibrium. This is a law. This law proposed by Mayer in 1963. The word founders mean those who are going to establish a new population. Founders means the members going to establish a new population. Example, from a large population. From a large population, 10 members are migrated into an island. From a large population, example, from a large population, 10 members are migrated to an island to establish new population or forming new population. These 10 members are called founders. From a large population, 10 members are migrated to an island and established a new or forming a new population. These 10 members are called founders. The original drifted population or changing or migrating population become founders and the effect is called founder effect. Next point, natural selection leads to, natural selection leads to stabilization, directional change and distribution. We can check the three pyramidal part in our textbook. Natural selection leads to stabilization, directional change and disruption. What is stabilization? That is, more individuals acquire mean character value, and a directional change, that is, more individuals acquire value other than the mean character value. Or disruption, that is, more individuals acquire peripheral character value at both ends of distribution curve. We can check it in our textbook. There is some pictures. Next, brief account of evolution. We summarize the events of evolution. We can summarize the steps of evolution. First point. First cellular forms of life appeared on Earth about 2000 million years ago. First cellular forms appeared on Earth about 2000 million years ago. Second point. Cells with membranous envelope evolved from non-cellular aggregates of giant micromolecules. Cells with membranous envelope, that is cellular forms, create from or originate from non-cellular aggregates of giant macromolecules. Cells attain ability to release oxygen. That is the next step. The photosynthetic bacteria first produce bacteria in seawater. First formed organs can't liberate oxygen. But in the third step, the photosynthetic bacteria and cyanobacteria are originated. They have the ability to release oxygen. Invertebrates formed by 500 million years ago, then jawless fishes, agnathas, formed by 350 million years ago, seaweeds and few plants by 320 million years ago. The organisms that invade land are plants. The first organisms that introduced in land were plants. First forms are introduced in water. The first formed fish which is extinct, they are perished, was named Latimeria. The first formed amphibians are lobed-finned animals that like coelacanth. They were the ancestors of modern frog and salamanders. Coelacanth are the ancestors of modern frogs and salamanders. Reptiles evolved from amphibians. Reptiles are evolved from amphibians, that is from 200 million years ago. Some reptiles went back to water. Examples: ichthyosaurs. They returned to water bodies. The biggest reptile, dinosaur, that is Tyrannosaurus rex, about 20 feet height and with sharp teeth. But they disappeared from Earth probably 65 million years ago. Next, birds evolved from reptiles, then mammals from apes or birds. These mammals were like shrews. They are viviparous, that means they give birth to young ones and they are intelligent. There were in South America mammals resembling horse, hippopotamus and rabbits. There were in South America, we can see the mammals resembling horse, hippopotamus and rabbits. When South America joined to North America due to continental drift, most of the South American animals were overridden by North American fauna. Fauna means animals. Continental drift also occurred in Australia. Then pouched mammals survived there because of lack of competition. Last part, origin and evolution of man. About 50 million years ago, Dryopithecus and Ramapithecus are evolved. Dryopithecus are ape-like and Ramapithecus were man-like. Their bones are discovered from Ethiopia and Tasmania. Second, Australopithecines. 2 million years ago. They live in East African grasslands. They eat fruits and hunting by using sharp stone weapons. Next, Homo habilis, first human-like creatures. Their brain capacity 650 to 800 cc. Then next, Homo erectus, fossils get from Java. They eat meat, brain capacity 900 cc. Neanderthal man lived in East and Central Asia between 1 lakh to 40,000 years back. They buried their dead bodies. That is the peculiarity. Their brain size 1400 cc. Next, Homo sapiens arose in Africa. That is Ice Age, arose in Ice Age between 75,000 to 10,000 years ago. Modern Homo sapiens. They arose 10,000 years ago. They interested in cultivation and domesticating animals. Now our chapter is covered.